So today we're diving into a really powerful little story. It all boils down to one simple but incredibly tough question. What happens when the things you want are the complete opposite of what everyone else expects from you? Let's get right into that conflict. And this is the question at the absolute heart of the story. Before you even know who's saying it, you can feel this desperate, quiet plea. It's a question that just hangs in the air over everything that's about to happen.
And here's where it all kicks off. Not with a choice, but with a decision that's already been made for someone else. Our main character, a woman named Elka, gets some news from her mother that's basically going to seal her fate.
Okay, so try to picture this. Alka's just waking up, and her mom rushes into the room absolutely beaming and says, "Alka, it's settled. They've agreed." But her mother's complete and utter joy is met with Alka's silent, crushing dread. It's like a wave of horror just washes over her.
This number is everything in this moment. 27. The story says it throbbed in my mind as incessantly as a heartbeat. At 27, she's feeling this immense pressure, this fear of being left behind, this feeling that her time is just running out.
And you can really feel her insecurity here. She's trying to convince herself that maturity is a good thing, that her face has personality. But deep down, there's this profound sense of loss. She knows that in her family's eyes, this could very well be her last chance.
All right, so let's get to the actual meeting. And you have to understand, this is not the first time Alka's been through this rodeo. She calls it being exhibited and inspected, and it's a routine that has just ground her down to nothing. As she's getting ready to meet this potential suitor and his family, it's like her own sense of self just starts to dissolve. She feels like she has to be up-to-date, agreeable, whatever they want her to be. It's like she has no shape of her own anymore. And this really shows you the disconnect. On a surface, her dad just says, well, go and get dressed. Simple enough, right? But inside, Alka feels completely powerless. She feels like a puppet in a show she has absolutely no control over. And in this really rare, honest moment with her mother, you just feel the weight of it all. It's not just that she's tired from a long day. It's this deep, soul-level exhaustion from being judged and measured 10 times over, and, in her mind, rejected 9 times before.
So the meeting itself, it's strange. It's defined almost entirely by what isn't being said. The silence is just deafening. When the suitor finally says what he's looking for, it's not about love or connection. It's a practical requirement. It's almost like a job description. I want a wife who can get on with everyone. Basically someone who won't cause any problems.
Alka can feel him looking at her, questioning her. But she also knows the game. She knows the lines she's supposed to say. The pressure to just nod and agree is enormous. Her own feelings? They're not even part of the equation.
This is it. This is her last stand. In a moment of pure desperation, she goes to her father and asks the one question that matters. Not about the guy's job or his family. She's asking about her own life, her own happiness.
And his response is just devastating. He takes her emotional, heartfelt question and demands logic. He wants a list of what's wrong with the guy. He completely dismisses her feelings because to him, they aren't a good reason.
And this is the real turning point. You can just feel it. Faced with this wall of practicality and family duty, Alka's own desires, her own wants, they just start to crumble.
Her father just lays out the case like a lawyer. He's got decent looks, no bad habits, good family, makes good money. On paper, it's a perfect deal. It's undeniable. He's basically asking her, what more could you possibly want? And right after that logical onslaught, you get this quiet, heartbreaking confession. Faced with all that reason, her own feelings start to feel small, pointless, and then they just start to fade away. And did you catch that? Her own desire has been totally reframed. It's not a feeling anymore, it's a problem. Her dad's plea sounds like he cares, but the message underneath is crystal clear. Just be quiet and comply for the good of the family. And that's it. She gives up. She relabels her own dreams as illusions and calls this arrangement reality. With 2 little words, it's all right. The fight is over. She surrenders. But the story doesn't really end with her saying yes. It ends with the echo of everything that was lost, the ghost of that first desperate question she asked. This line just says it all, doesn't it? Even though she said yes, her silence was screaming no. It was a rebellion that happened entirely inside her own head,
a fight that no one else could see or hear.
And so, this is where we're left. Alka gets the husband, the security, the good match that her family wanted for her. But what's the real price for that? What does it cost a person to silence that fundamental part of themselves that dares to say, I want? That's the question the story leaves us with.